We have some enormous FNAF news that has just dropped as part of FNAF Week, coming straight from the Scott Games Twitter. There is a collab coming summer 2025, Dead by Daylight and Five Nights at Freddy's. This doesn't come as a huge surprise. We all thought it was going to be either Fortnite or Dead by Daylight. I was listening to Dorko's interview with Scott Cawthon just the other day, and Scott said that he's very picky and choosy about what he chooses to collab FNAF with. And as you know, there hasn't been many, if any, FNAF collabs ever. So this is absolutely huge. And more importantly, it's really exciting. Dead by Daylight is one of those games that brings in all sorts of horror characters and horror elements, so having Five Nights at Freddy's in there just makes sense. Honestly, a Fortnite crossover could be a lot of fun, but it doesn't really suit with the thematics of Five Nights at Freddy's. At its core, FNAF is a horror game. Now I know there's a lot of plushes out there, but ultimately it's not targeted directly towards underage children. It's just one of those sort of funny grey areas that they've picked up on it and run with it. So having a game like Dead by Daylight bring FNAF into its universe, it's going to be really exciting. Now, we don't know any characters or powers or any details as yet. The announcement was literally made 8 hours ago via the Dead by Daylight Twitter and retweeted by the FNAF Scott Games Twitter. But I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to do what I do best and do what we do best at this channel, and we're going to speculate on FNAF. Now, if I'm using a little bit of meta knowledge, we can't deny that the most famous character to come out of this franchise, probably the most recognizable and the biggest antagonist over the past 10 years in FNAF, is William Afton, or specifically Springtrap. I would put any money on it that they would involve Springtrap in Dead by Daylight and not Freddy Fazbear. If I know anything about Scott, I believe he's going to want to be involved in this collab somewhat directly, and he's going to want to sign off on things. That saying, I don't think he's going to allow Dead by Daylight to do anything to his characters or give them any strange abilities that directly contradict the lore or what he's trying to do in the main FNAF game line. So what I'm saying there is, if you had Freddy Fazbear flying through the air, like in Fortnite, it waters down the whole purpose of the character, and it somewhat waters down the story in my opinion. Whereas if it's Springtrap in Dead by Daylight with the half muscle, half suit sort of look going on, that's going to be frightening. And even more frighteningly, if they tie it in with the release of the second film, and we get that overpowered suit like we saw in the FNAF movie with the electricity and the LED lights and everything, I reckon that could really be something. But I'm interested to hear everybody else's thoughts on this. What character do you think Dead by Daylight and FNAF are going to use in the crossover? Let me know in the comment section below. And hey, if you haven't seen my latest FNAF theory, go watch it here.